When I was a Muslim, I used to challenge Christians by saying things like, the word Trinity is not found anywhere in the Bible. I'd say things like the doctrine of the Trinity developed over hundreds of years, and that the Trinity is complex, and philosophically and theologically, it's hard to grasp. Why would God do that about himself? And because I'd say these things, I would feel I had a case against Christianity. But the reason why that felt strong to me was because I was not consistent in my criticism. If I applied the same critical thoughts to Tawheed, here's what I would have found. The word Tawheed is not found in the Quran. In fact, it's not found anywhere in the Hadith. The concept of Tawheed was continuing to be developed for hundreds of years after Muhammad. That's why it wasn't found in Hadith. And in fact, Tawheed is complex both philosophically and theologically. I want to fast forward a little bit to the first Islamic Inquisition. And you heard me right, it is the first Islamic Inquisition. It's called the Mihna. This Inquisition literally flogged and executed people who disagreed on the issue of Tawheed. In April of 833 AD, the Abbasid Caliph Ma'mun launched this Inquisition, and this is what he says. He has no belief in Tawheed who does not confess that the Quran is created. What is Ma'mun saying? He's saying, look, I hear that there's some people out there who believe that the Quran is eternal. But if you have an eternal Quran next to an eternal Allah, that's two gods. Or that's two persons within the Godhead, whatever you want to call it. That challenges the unity of Tawheed if you believe the Quran's eternal. This Inquisition was launched throughout the Islamic world. If you've heard of the name of Ahmad ibn Hanbal, he's the founder of the Hanbali madhab of Islam. He was one of the first people who came under the flogging of this Inquisition. Others were killed, others were flogged in mosques in their underwear. This kind of stuff happened throughout the Islamic world until 849 AD. What happened then? Mutawakkil said, we're going to stop arguing about this. He didn't say, let's resolve it in this way or that way. He said, we're going to stop arguing about this. Now, why did this happen? It's because there were arguments at that time over Allah's attributes. Some people were beginning to argue, does Allah have hair? Does he have a beard? Some people said, yes, he has curly hair. Some people said, no, he's like a youth without a beard. They're beginning to start talking about Allah, and then they start thinking more about his attributes and saying, does Allah have attributes, or is he those attributes? Does he have knowledge, or is he knowledgeable? And that makes a difference, because if he has something, then is that something separate from him that lasts eternally? These are the kinds of questions that start coming up when you start thinking deeply about God, no matter what monotheistic faith. The deeper you think about God, the more these questions are going to arise. Well, that question specifically came with the attribute of God's speech, called kalam in Islamic history. Is his speech a part of who he is, or is it separate? Now, if you argued that the Quran was separate from Allah, then you had to argue that there was some kind of eternal Quran next to him. Those who were the rationalists argued, no, Allah created the Quran. There's nothing eternal alongside Quran. And that was the Mu'tazili argument. Some of you will have heard that. And that was the argument that Ma'mun espoused. And it wasn't until Mutawakkil came that the Mu'tazili day stopped being had by some of the Muslims.